Hi everyone, my name is Stas, and today I'm going to tell you about the plot of the 2015 film called Sand, where young guys and very beautiful girls get stuck on a deadly beach.
She can't do it! What? She's gotta be able to do it. No, I don't understand. It was open. No, it's because...
The movie starts with a group of young people throwing a beach party. There are beautiful girls all around and a variety of drinks. The guys are having fun not just dancing, but also with all sorts of contests. Two friends, Vance and Gilbert, unexpectedly discover a strange sticky round object. They don't come up with anything. Better to bring it closer to the fire and keep the fun going. The party is heating up. Drinks are flowing and someone is already starting to get some privacy. When morning comes, Mitch and Kelly wake up in the lifeguard station. Jonah, Shanda, Vance and Ronnie are comfortably settled in the convertible. Gilbert is less lucky. His sleeping spot turned out to be a cramped trash bin. Marsha wakes up without a bra on a picnic table. Kelly steps out of the lifeguard station and notices a car with her sleeping friends. Of all of them, Jonah is the most important to her since he is her ex-boyfriend. As Kelly continues to look around the nearby stretch of beach, she becomes confused because there isn't a soul in sight. It's all strange because the things and sleeping bags are still in their places. Marsha comes to her senses and starts wondering where her bikini top could have gone. Suspicions fall on her friend named Heather. Marsha starts to feel nauseous, and Kelly notices that a bird sitting on the shore is being sucked into the sand. A careful girl wants to warn Marsha not to step on the sand, but Marsha doesn't take her words seriously and goes ahead and puts her feet down anyway. After a couple of seconds, she stops moving and starts screaming. No one can understand what's happening. Vance rushes to help her, but after a couple of steps, he finds himself trapped too.
You guys, why isn't he getting up?
Ronnie! Help! Help me!
Guys are in a panic. Since the car won't start, they're all stuck in this dangerous spot. Mitch finds a rope and throws it to Vance, but it can't help the doomed guy. Soon, Vance is completely pulled into the sand. The same thing happens to Marsha. Ronnie is horrified because Vance was her boyfriend. At first, the guys think that quicksand has formed in this area, but they soon dismiss that idea, because it's clear that something else is going on here. The survivors decide to call emergency services, but all their mobile phones are in the trunk of the car. It turns out that the day before, they had put them there themselves so that no one could take compromising photos or videos. John tries to start the convertible again, but the car doesn't want to wake up from its slumber as Kelly reaches out her hand. To the sand, she notices that tiny white hairs are coming out of it, following potential food. Meanwhile, Gilbert wakes up. He realizes that he's stuck in the trash can and can't get out without help. Everyone is telling him not to move. Gilbert thinks that this is just another prank. Realizing that he can't get out on his own, he actually stops moving. A few hours pass. Everyone is busy with their own things. Kelly and Mitch are trying to figure out when the sand became dangerous, since just last night they could walk on it. Kelly finds sunscreen and hands it to her friends. At the same time, everyone realizes that the others didn't just go missing, they died from whatever is in the sand. Only they are left alive. Jonah throws the sunscreen to Gilbert, who by this time has already gotten sunburned. A little later, the chubby guy spots the remnants of that very sticky ball. Through reasoning, they all come to the conclusion that this object was an egg, from which the sand monster hatched. This invisible monster has already eaten Vance, Heather, Marsha, and a bunch of other teenagers. The situation is quite complicated. Kelly finds hot dogs in the lifeguard station and throws them at different ends of the beach. To determine the boundaries of the deadly zone for them, the monster eats the first 2 hot dogs and then it goes after a bird that decided to sit on the shore near Gilbert. Mitch throws the 3rd hot dog and it remains untouched. It seems the guys have managed to find a safe boundary, but the distance to it is quite large. Jonah decides to use 2 surfboards to get to the nearest table. During the tense process, he starts to have a confrontation with his ex-girlfriend. He's jealous of her with Mitch and tries to provoke her emotionally. Despite all the difficulties, Jonah makes it to the table. Suddenly, the board under his feet starts to move, causing the guy to almost fall into the sand. It seems the creature in the ground has realized the intentions of its victims and decides to interfere with them. While Jonah was hanging over the open patch of sand, white tentacles started reaching out from it and grabbing him by the stomach. As soon as he managed to climb onto the table, he immediately lost consciousness. When he comes to, the guy starts screaming in pain. He describes his feelings as the bite of 1,000 jellyfish.
It's like a jellyfish times 1,000.
Do something, help him!
I don't know what to do.
John finds someone's bag on the sand. A banana falls out of it, but the monster doesn't touch it. The guy sees that the fruit has fallen into the ashes from the campfire. John jumps into the center of the ashes, and nothing happens to him. It seems the monster is afraid of fire and ash. Meanwhile, His wound on the stomach started to look worse. It looks like the cuts have started to get infected. Kelly asks him to go back to the table and take a look in the bag. Inside, they found a few cans of soda and a bottle of water. John is getting worse. Tentacles are emerging from his stomach. Despite the hellish pain, he climbs onto the picnic table and lies down on it. The guys see that the surfboards are moving across the sand. Now John is cut off from the car, which has also stopped being a safe place, because the monster started eating the rubber off the tires. Gilbert suggests getting their mobile phones out of the trunk. Ronnie is trying to fold down the back seat of the car and open the trunk from inside, but she's not having any luck. Then the girl tightly grabs Shanda with one hand while trying to open the banana with the other. After several attempts, it becomes clear that she won't be able to open the trunk completely. Kelly finds a rescue hook in the booth and throws it to Ronnie. Holding onto the hook and Shanda's hand, the girl opens the trunk. Ronnie doesn't manage to get the phones out, as the trunk lid slams shut and crushes her fingers. A police car appears on the beach. The teenagers warn the police officer about the danger, but he doesn't believe a word they say. The men think that they all took illegal substances and are now experiencing mass hallucinations.
Why is Fat Albert in the trash can?
Stay in your car, man! Don't get out!
There's something alive in the sand, and it kills!
The police officer calmly gets out of the car. Nothing bad happens to him. The cop starts making jokes at the guy's expense, especially at Gilbert. The guy suggests that the police officers are protecting their shoes with very thick soles. Cobb demands that Kelly and Mitch come down from the lifeguard tower, but they refuse to do so. Cobb drops his keys in the sand and reaches for them. Suddenly, his hand is grabbed by a tentacle. The man uses pepper spray, which repels the monster's limbs, but by that point, he has already lost his right arm. In shock, the police officer falls onto the sand and becomes yet another prey for the monster. At the last moment, Kelly decides to take the pepper spray from him. Mitch has a new plan. He wants to put on flip-flops, wrap his legs in towels, spray them with pepper spray, and run to the police car to grab the guys and get out of here. Shanda throws him a couple of towels from the car. The first guy catches it, but when he reaches for the second one, he falls onto the sand, and right then the sand monster eats him. Kelly is desperate, but she doesn't want to give up. The girl makes Shanda reach for the debris, jumping from the rescue tower and dragging it onto the hood, and she jumps straight from the tower into the convertible and slaps Shanda for spending the night with her boyfriend. Kelly sees that John is still alive, and they even confess their love for each other. Kelly and Shanda work together to free Ronnie's trapped fingers. The girl is bandaging her wound. Gilbert notices that he cut his stomach on the sharp edge of the trash bin while trying to get out. When drops of blood fall on the sand, they attract the monster. Shanda takes the debris from the railing and uses it as a bridge to reach the injured John, who is still lying on the table. Kelly is walking along the railing, followed by her. Ronnie is the last one. Almost at the finish line, she trips and falls onto the sand. Kelly uses the pepper spray, but it doesn't help. Ronnie is being sucked in by the sand monster. Shanda remembers Mitch's plan, wraps her legs in towels, sprays them with pepper spray, and runs towards the police car. The girl jumps onto the hood and celebrates her success. Unfortunately, a few seconds later, the sand monster attacks Gilbert. It literally sucks his staker through the bottom of the trash bin. The creepy creature grows very long tentacles and strikes them against the police car. Shanda falls onto the hood and loses consciousness. Night falls. Shanda comes to. She makes it to the back of the police car and finds an inflatable raft there. The girl inflates it, jumps inside, and then helps Kelly and John get to the police car. Suddenly, a huge neon tentacle emerges from the sand and attacks Kelly. The girl climbs onto the hood of the car and finds 2 gas cans. With their help, she sets part of the monster on fire. Our heroes lock themselves in the car and watch the monster's attempts to get to them. In the end, the sand monster retreats. Kelly and Shanda see that Jonah was unable to survive his severe injury. The girls are very upset, but after a while, they fall asleep. In the morning, a stranger knocks on their car window. He asks if they are okay. Kelly and Shanda realize that the trash is gone, and now they can walk on the sand again. At the very end of the movie, we see a huge alien jellyfish swimming underwater towards a new beach. Filled, new prey. The film titled Sand has a decent plot, but due to its limited budget, the project comes off as quite weak. The only bright spot is that the film features beautiful girls who look great in bikinis. At the time of this recap's release, this film has a rating of 3.8 on IMDB. How would you rate this film? Be sure to let us know in the comments. That brings us to the end of our video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you found it interesting, then definitely support this video with a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes. Well, this was Stas, who is already preparing a new recap for you. Stay healthy, watch only good movies, and play only good games. Good luck to everyone and goodbye.